Do we look like zombies?
Yeah. Bring you home.
Doesn't it?
You sound like you partied all that, did you?
I did not. We've had a crazy experience ever since we got into Playa del Carmen. So we are here. We are in Playa del Carmen. This camera thing sucks. It goes all close, you know, like, what am I supposed to do? Hold it like this? Alright.
Yeah, it zooms in the video.
Okay, so we made it to Playa del Carmen. Sorry about my voice, jeez. But we wanted to tell you guys about our travel day, which is usually always an adventure, but it went pretty smoothly, didn't it?
At first.
What do you mean at first?
Until we got to the Airbnb.
Oh, yeah, but we're not talking about the Airbnb just yet. We'll talk about that
Dun, dun,
little
dun.
experience in a separate, our next vlog. So we had our Airbnb host at the one we were in Guanajuato, which was awesome. We can talk a little bit about that Airbnb. So when we got out of our house, our lease, we had to check into an Airbnb in Guanajuato for 2 days. And I didn't know what to expect because it was a new Airbnb, but the owner did have ratings for his other places that were really good. So I took a risk, which I don't necessarily recommend, but it worked out well for me. Typically, you want to book an Airbnb that has a lot of reviews, a lot of great reviews, and a very responsive host, which this host was very responsive, and we lucked out. This Airbnb was amazing. It was beautiful. We're going to show you a clip of a tour of it.
I wanted to give you a little house tour of our latest Airbnb. Seriously. I think I say seriously every single video, but let me show you. Look at my...
Let's go.
great, so great that I was tempted to like cancel my trip to Playa del Carmen and just stay there for a month, because it was such a relief after glamping basically in our house for an entire 2 months. Like, it was nice to have a couch to sit on.
We were there for 2 months?
Yeah, we were pretty much there for almost, 2 months. A little crazy. we did that for 2 months. We stayed in an empty house basically with a freaking mattress. And we realized, though, in that experience that we just want to travel. We want to travel and see everything. There's so much of the world that we need to see. It's in our blood. And we tried to settle down because we kept fighting with like back and forth, like, do we want a house? Do we want to buy a house? We want to rent a house, this and that, especially back in Austin, Texas, where we're from. And I'm so glad we didn't do that. I'm so glad we signed a lease in Mexico because it was easy to break. And because we realized very quickly, we don't want to settle down and buy furniture and have our own bedrooms and all this crazy stuff. We just want to see the world. So here we are in Playa del Carmen. And
laying in our hammock.
Laying in our hammock. Okay, let's go back to travel day. So our Airbnb host there had called or told me he called a taxi for us the next day to pick us up from the airport. From our Airbnb. So our host, I'm just gonna have to be editing a lot. Our host set up a ride for us with a taxi driver, which is good because no one in Guanajuato speaks English. But we didn't really know if he was gonna come. I mean, we're already that morning waiting for him, and the girls were like, "What if he doesn't come?"
We're waiting on our taxi.
Oops.
This thing is so
Don't
heavy.
drop the laptops. And Alea's grumpy. She's very grumpy. She's all yelling at me like, I'm tired! And I'm like, look at my... Oh, Lord.
Look at my hair.
Hopefully the taxi shows up. Our Airbnb owner is the one that ordered it for us. So, yeah, we're headed to Cancun and then Playa del Carmen. And we're off.
Taking 2 planes?
No, just one. It's a quick flight, like a 2-hour flight. We're saying goodbye to Guanajuato, Mexico. We're going to the beach. Oh, someone played music for me. Look at this mountain. We are. We're gonna miss it, definitely, and but I'm excited for the beach. I'm excited for some very hot weather, and we're excited to check out our new Airbnb. Supposedly has a swing and a hot tub. I don't know. Well, it's called the Tree House, so we'll have to see and find out. It looks like a tree house, but it's not a tree house. It's just really.
But he did. He showed up, and we're driving, and I thought the ride to the airport, what I remembered, was like 45 minutes to an hour.
Showed up. Now we're on our way. I think it's about a 45-minute drive. I'm not sure. 30, 45 minutes? I don't know, but our flight leaves at 11:55. It's 9 something now. Man, we should have left early.
Why?
I taxi.
Right.
I could have ordered it for earlier. But it's a small airport, so we should be okay.
So when he shows up at this place, literally seemed 20 minutes. It was like 30 minutes probably. I freaked out. I thought we were at the wrong airport. And I'm like, oh gosh, we're going to miss our flight. Yada, yada. And he's like, no, your Airbnb host said that just to take you to the airport. And I'm like, yeah, but we have to go to the one in Leon. He's like, well, there is none in Leon. This is the airport. And it was the right airport. It was the airport we had flown into to get to Guanajuato and all that stuff, but I just didn't recognize it, and I was just in my own world, so it worked out fine. Checking in, we were flying on a budget airline, and I was nervous about that too with our luggage. Is our luggage going to weigh too much? You know, I had paid extra for our luggage online, but I just didn't know what to expect. We were flying on Viva Aerobus. And sometimes I've flown on some budget airlines like Allegiant. It was a little bit rough, but it's a great way to save money. And it was great. I mean, checking in, the guy that checked us in with our luggage was really nice, and it was smooth and seamless. And we waited. We were there pretty early. It was a really small airport, so it was easy to go through security and check in. And then when we were waiting, we were like an hour and a half before our flight was going to leave. Novella was running around like she does. She loves travel days, loves airports, running around in circles. At one point, she took off her shoes, I think. She took off her shirt. Yeah. and was just having so much fun in the middle of the airport. Did you just really yawn?
Yeah. I have a migraine.
You do not have a
Or
migraine.
a freaking
Headache?
heartbeat in my right side of my face.
We made it through security. It was a quick line, and I had a freak out moment when we arrived here because I was like, we're at the wrong airport. And the guy was like, this is the only airport. But I expected it to be a lot longer drive, so I was just thinking we were at the wrong place. But we're not. We're at the right place. We went through security. Everything was easy. And my child is throwing her shoes. Because it's super clear. Now your forehead has a mark.
Running around. Then it's time to board the airplane. Like, they are dead. I was worried. Sometimes with budget airlines, they're just not on time ever, and they'll cancel flights. But no, this Viva Aerobus, they what the hell? Oh, my phone's. Okay, well. So plane was on time. It was on time, and it was time for us to get on the plane. And they didn't even let the other people off before they started loading us on. It was crazy. I'm like, wait a second. So they are really big on this being on time thing, because it looks like I have a freaking black eye. Because they, look at this. Oh my God, I swear, guys. I swear. I wasn't out partying at the rave all night that kept me up the other night. That's another story. So, yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, we got on and we did something stupid. We were looking at our tickets and thought our seats were one thing all the way in the back. Well, they weren't. They were actually all the way in the front. We got all the way to the back, but of course you can't get back to the front because everyone's getting on. So we had to stand in the back like idiots. That was kind of embarrassing, but whatever. We had to apologize, stand in the back, and wait for everyone to get on before we could go sit down. And then when it was time for us to sit down, this poor mom and her baby were in our seats. Like, she was so excited thinking she was getting a whole row to herself. And then we come and steal her seats like straight gangsters. Flight went smoothly, but the girls are freaking out because it was making this weird noise. We don't sit at the front often. I think it was normal, but it was making this weird noise.
She's gonna eat your face. You look so dark on camera.
Ow!
Aww, Muppy. That was such a cute photo.
Okay,
That one?
beautiful photo.
Whoa, we're landing.
Flight, we see the water, and it was weird how they flew over. We saw the water, it was beautiful. We were like, oh my gosh, we're there. We landed, we had arranged pickup from the airport, which I've never done before. And he had a little sign. I'm pretty sure my name was spelled wrong. We're gonna roll Amaya. We're gonna roll that clip and show you that.
A-M-A-Y-A.
But it was a nice ride. It was a nice little van, and we were able to strap Novi in her car seat. The car seat that I am carrying on my back all the time. It looks like I have a dead body on my back. Y'all will see that. It looks like I have a dead body on my back, and we're going to come up with some different travel solutions. We're going to be switching to carry-on only after we take our trips to the States in May, and you guys will see that. So yeah, we had a smooth travel day, I'd say. We drove through, we were so excited in the van, and it drove us right to our Airbnb where the nightmare begins. Oh, so yes, we had an interesting 3 days in this Airbnb. I'm gonna make a separate vlog for that, but
3 days. Think about that.
it was supposed to be a month.
3 days.
If you like what you're seeing, what should they do, Mia?
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
And hit that notification bell so that you know when we post again.
And comment. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to see more, and what you don't want to see. Say, hey, you suck. I know. I'm learning. I'm a blogger. I'm not a vlogger. Share. Tell me what you want to see, what you don't want to see. And stay tuned. 'Cause you got
Yeah.